Hi, hello, little friends. Today we are going to read The Homeless Monkey storybook. Come on, let us read.
Once upon a time, there lived a monkey who had no home of his own. They called him Springs, for he always walked with the bounce in his steps. I'm going to adventure the world. He had sold everything he owned, and with that money, he had started traveling the world, trying to travel the world, going to travel the world, adventures, going to the world. He wanted to see the world's smallest and biggest wonders. He traveled from village to village, town to town, going to the towns, going to the villages, seeing the biggest dreams and the smallest dreams. Offered his service to do work in exchange for food and shelter, looking for the house to mop and clean, to get food and shelter. He was a happy monkey and he loved helping people. One day he passed through the village of Zivar. There 20 animals lived. Wow! He saw an old beaver, so he walked towards him and said, "Hello, Mr. Beaver. If I was to do some garden work for you today, would you be so kind as to give me something to eat, please?" The old beaver agreed and asked Springs to do some gardening and fix up a few things around the house. It was a long and tiring trip for Springs, but enjoyed his day. When Springs returned to the house in the evening, the whole village had gathered there. There were lots of food put out on the large wooden table, and everybody was celebrating as though a hero had come to their small village. They all had a great time that night. It was like a big party. There was dancing and lots of food, and Spring really enjoyed his evening. The following morning, when Spring was ready to leave, the old beaver approached Springs with tears in his eyes and said,
Thank you for joining us for dinner. Please come back whenever you have time. I have two boys around your age who I have not seen in 10 years. Spending time with you remind me of my boys.
Springs did not know what to say, so he just hugged the beaver, just like he would his father, and set off on his way with the promise to return one day. Springs had been walking for some time and was tired. He saw two highway robbers who pushed him down and took his bag away. Please don't take anything away from it, please. When the robbers looked in his bag, they only found a rope, some tools, and some bread. Please don't take anything. They threw his bag on the ground and ran away. Springs picked up his backpack and continued on his journey. He did not take anything. Get out of here. He started to think about all the good and bad in the world. The road was long and winding and finally led him to a dark forest. The only way he could continue his journey was to walk through the forest. This is creepy. Spring walks for more than an hour, and then he realized he was lost. He decided to climb up a tree to relax and eat some of the bread the villagers have given to him. Suddenly, Springs heard some voice shouting for help. Help! Help! What's that? He climbed down from the tree and ran in the direction the voice were coming from. Spring reached the place the voice was coming from. Help! Help! I'm coming for you! Springs reached the place the voices were coming from. He saw the two robbers who had pushed him earlier that they were trapped inside a deep hole in the ground. Help us! Help us! Oh no, I'm scared. They both were trapped and couldn't get out, and they were yelling, Help! 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 I'm coming!
That's it.
Spring quickly reached into his backpack and grabbed the rope that was inside. He tied one end of the rope to a tree and threw the other end inside the hole. The robbers both quickly climbed up the rope safely. The robbers were amazed that Spring had saved them. One robber asked,
Why did you help us? We pushed you and tried to rob you earlier.
Spring replied, There are good people and bad people in this world. The good people do good things and bad people do bad things. I decided to be one of the good people. The two robbers were amazed by Spring's reply. Spring told the robbers, I had traveled far and wide, seen happiness as well as sorrow. I have met all kinds of people, good, bad, old, and young. I have experienced all sorts of bad things, but I have always tried to do only good things. As Spring was leaving, he gave the two robbers some bread with a smile and said, I hope what I have said today will help you realize that there are always ways to live without causing harm to others. The end. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, and like. Don't forget to share with your friends. Have a great day. Bye.